What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason and Joe here. Arctic Monkeys week. We've already ranked the 7 studio albums. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. And now we're going to give you our top 10 songs.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's suck it and see.
All right, so normally we just read through our 10. That's the way we've always done this. With Cram out of the fold, we're going to just experiment a little and try doing the back and forth the way we do with the album videos. Let us know in the comments if you like this better or the old way better. My number 10 is 4 out of 5 from Tranquillity Base Hotel and Casino. Really cool groove to this one, but I think it really makes it on the strength of the lyrics. Advertising the Tranquillity Base Hotel and Casino, essentially describing this new gentrified space colony with taquerias on the roof. I just think it's a really cool concept and really well executed as well.
Right? Yeah, it's a good one. I remember hearing it on the radio and being like, I don't really like this. But I swear they cut part of it out because that ending just like gets just like weirder and weirder and weirder. It like gets further away from like that main riff. It's really cool. Didn't make my list though, spoiler. My number 10, I'm going to the beginning for Dancing Shoes. I just think it's so much fun. It's got that really weighty bass line, just crashes it right in the dance floor. The guitars keep dropping out throughout, just that rumbling bass, and just that kind of like shouty, half rapping vocal style from Alex Turner on this. I just think it's really cool, just full of cool riffs and big bass and fun, danceable track.
Right. No repeats yet. My number 9 is Cornerstone, going to Humbug. Another one with great lyrics. This one is constructed like and inspired by classic country songwriting, with like each verse having kind of a similar ending to it, where like the verse leads up to like this closing line. The part where he sings, she was close, it was close, in each of the different verses. And it each one opens with like various bars and pubs and clubs that he's in. He sings the names of all these different places. I think it's a really cool kind of songwriting exercise and technique. And yeah, I dig it.
It was tough for me to narrow this down. I had a lot of songs that I really like. My number 9, I'm gonna go with "Do Me a Favor" from Favorite Worst Nightmare. It has and it has the energy, I think, from that first album, whatever you say I am, that's what I'm not. But it brings in these weighty concerns, this maturity, these adult problems kind of weighing in and crashing into the party, breaking up some of the adolescent ramblings. And on top of that, it's just a really catchy song. I could have picked anything off that second album, really. I think they're all really great, but that one stood out for just being really getting in between my ears and just sticking there.
Right, my number 8, sticking with Humbug, but the last time I will be going to that record. That is My Propeller. Love how the guitars and the bass work together on this track. It's got a cool drum beat as well. Love how the band kind of drops out when he says My Propeller, kind of just lets him hanging out there on his own.
All right, I'm gonna go to the car for not the last time. I'm gonna go with "Hello You." Lively and vibrant. It takes a page right out of that early 70s R&B and soul. And it's on the car, so there's no real big chorus or anything. It's just got this great kind of winding story, and the orchestration and strings I think are the best on it than on the whole album. And just really, really great. Really just builds and builds and builds into this really great song. It's just a great song.
All right, I've got none of Joe's on my list yet, so much for the theory of
We never have
Cram's.
the same songs. We're always like way off.
Number 7 for me is Pile Driver Waltz, another example of kind of classic songwriting, almost country-esque in a way, exemplified by Caitlin Rose's great country reworking of this song. I think it's a great cover, one of my favorite covers of the last, whenever that came out, 15 years or whatever. Yeah, just a really good song, really strong lyrically. I think it's one of the best lyrical tracks in the catalog.
Well, number 7, I'm going to go with the title track from Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. Just think the synth lines on this are really cool. It's got this like 90s almost R&B feel thanks to that bass line. The croon is fully there from Turner. He's kind of channeling Bowie, and it's just very like icy and mysterious and weird. It's this weird mix of styles, and it doesn't sound like anything else from them, or really anything else I've ever heard from anyone. But I just, a really cool, interesting, unique track from Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino.
All right, my number 6 is the only track I'm pulling from AM. It is number 1 party anthem, which kind of foreshadows their next two albums, that more loungy feel. You get kind of that spinning mirror ball type of feeling on this track. The chorus, when he says "Come on, come on, come on" 3 times in a row, is I think a great hook. Great lyrics again. The line may suggest there's somewhere from which I might know her, just to get the ball to roll, I think is really funny. Yeah, good song.
My number 6, I'm going to AM as well, but I'm going for the big one. Do I Want to Know? Just a sledgehammer riff. And to start the album, I think it's perfect. Just comes in, tells you exactly what you need to know about basically the whole album. Club to the head. And Turner's just kind of doing this real slinky. The way he sings is so assured and yet also like searching and questioning. Just a totally cool, unique, halfway to the croon, the lounge pop, but also rooted in rock and roll still. So yeah, I think it was a deserving. I think it was on the Hot 100, Billboard Hot 100 back in, might be the last like great rock song I think on the whole damn chart.
My number 5 is Reckless Serenade. I just think that this is one of their catchiest songs they have. I think it's great. Got a simple bass line, not too complicated, but it works really well. Really cool drum part. And I think it's just really tight and concise and a well constructed tune.
Just like that review. My number 5, I'm gonna go with Jet Skis on the Moat. It brings in that wah guitar. It's very rich, sensual. Like I said in the album video, it feels like, a jet ski, the south of France or something. Like it feels incredibly rich, expensive, white marble villas and beautiful people talking to beautiful people. And just it has this great cinematic scope to it that really works. And it's from the car, so it's great. And I love the vocals from Turner.
My number 4 is Body Paint, my second favorite song with the word subterfuge in it. If you know, you know. Killer production here. The song builds so well when it breaks down to where it's just the kick drum and vocals with the strings. I think it's a great use of dynamics, and when they kick back in, it just hits really hard. I think it's a really strong tune.
My number 4, I'm gonna go with Fluorescent Adolescent. Yeah, it's got the regret and sort of cheekiness of a pulp track, a little Jarvis Cocker. Still sounds like an Arctic Monkeys song though. It's a little crude, a little naughty. You used to get it in your fishnets. Now you only get it in your night dress. Discarded all the naughty nights for niceness. The lyrics are great. They're super clever, and just really, it really reminds me of Jarvis Cocker's sort of like weird maturity for kind of a perv. So I think they do that really well. Bring that into my favorite worst nightmare, your favorite worst nightmare, whatever it's called.
My number 3 is I Ain't Quite Where I Think I Am. Super cool, funky wah guitar, vocal stabs, strings, and synths, kind of blending to create this really cool atmosphere. You got congas in the background or something going on back there with the hand percussion. It fits on the album, but it also has a lot of unique qualities that make it stand out at the same time. And just, I think, yeah, just a really cool, different track for the Arctic Monkeys. I think it's great.
All right, my number 3, I'm gonna go with Old Yellow Bricks from my favorite worst nightmare again. Dominating this list. It just comes in with that supersonic, killer, speedy guitar riff, and then it kind of seems normal, and then at the end, it's got that really like spindly, weird guitar part that comes in. I've never really heard anything like it, and they don't really do anything like it again, but It just kind of pops in and just kind of this weird dissonant, I don't know, like chromatic little run. It really just kind of blew my mind. I listened to that track like 1,000 times this week.
My number two is 1 Point Perspective. Really simple. It's got that little high kind of repetitive piano part, really basic beat. I think the bass line on it is great, great feel. And as I mentioned in the other video, the guitar solo on this track, probably my favorite guitar moment in their entire catalog. I think the solo on this track is great.
Number two, we go with I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor. So much energy, cheeky and clever, impossible not to love. Those like chunky metallic sounding guitars, like the big palm mutes and stuff, the shouty backing vocals. I don't know what the hell I was thinking not loving the song because it's just too much fun. It's perfect.
My number one, I mentioned it, the possibility of this in the previous video. I got She's Thunderstorms. Just think it's a really good rock song, really catchy, really memorable. And I think it highlights the underrated rhythm section of this band. They kind of like flip the beat on its head. It's not really like complex per se, but it's just different enough to really make the song pop and make everything kind of work and not feel totally generic. And yeah, it's a great tune.
All right, number one, we match here. Body Paint. I just think this song is unforgettable. It is the way it unfolds at its own pace, the cinematic feel, the way it moves and changes, and the big dropouts of instrumentation, and the stops and the halts, and the way it kind of jumps up again at the end, and just vibrant and rich with little details. Piano, the strings are amazing. You know, the colorful little synth that bubbles in right around the midpoint of the song, and just the way he sings, that there's a trace of body paint on your legs and on your arms and on your face, and kind of keeps going back to that closing guitar solo, so fuzzy and perfect. Everything about that song just rules. Was it my number one song of last year? Because it should have been. I forget what was, but
Can't remember.
I think it was like number two, maybe.
What was your
I don't
number
know
one
what else.
album?
Number one album was Always Blue Rev.
Wasn't a Always song your number one? No.
I don't. Oh, maybe it was. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I went back to back. I think it was a Ghost song.
Big mistake.
In hindsight, maybe. Let me see what it is. Let's see what it is. It's got to be. You always have regret over songs you picked in the past. Oh, I picked Greatest Hits by Jockstrap as my number one. That's pretty good. Body Paint was number six. I think that would move up to number one. I think it's the song that just constantly come back to. We'll check that out in 2052, maybe 2047, when you do the 2022 deep dive.
All right. Well, let us know what your favorite Arctic Monkeys songs are. Drop it in the comments. Let us know what you think of our list. And again, let us know what you think of the format change. Do you like the back and forth or the one at a time approach more? And if you're interested, we will be leaving expanded lists for our songs from now on Patreon. Every artist, you'll be getting more than 10 over there. So if you're interested in what those are, check it out. There's also other benefits to being over there, our Discord being probably the main one, album of the week listening chosen by the patrons of the channel, and voting on who we cover on the channel, and so much more. So check it out. Drop it all in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, check the video description for links to social media, Patreon, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.